Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending the meeting on September 9th, 2025. How's everybody doing tonight? Good? Good. Awesome. Everybody good out there? Awesome. All right. We are going to move on to the approval of the agenda for this evening. Are there any modifications or amendments we have to make?
I have done, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Anybody else? All right. We need a motion
to approve the agenda.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. All right, public hearings. There are no public hearings tonight. On to the consent agenda. We have a few things on here. We have the approval of the minutes from the regular council meeting held on August 12, 2025. Approval of the minutes from the workshop meeting held on August 12th, 2025. Approval of the minutes of the workshop meeting held on August 18th, 2025. Approval of claims to be made, and approval of resolution number 2025-0, a resolution accepting a $1,500 donation for the free swim event from the Lee Center Firemen's Relief Association. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve consent.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. All right. Thank you to the Firemen's Relief for that donation as well. Thank you. All right, we have the public comment portion for this evening. If anybody has any petitions, requests, comments, or communications, please come up to the podium. You must be from Lee Center. Make sure you state your name and your address and your comments. No one here? All right, thank you so much. No presentations tonight, no old business. Moving on to new business, letter A. We need to approve the approval of a chief of water and wastewater operator job description. The city administrator Evans stated that we do not have one on hand, and this should be there for us. City Administrator Evans, do you have anything you would like to chat about this?
Yeah, so like you indicated, we just didn't have one in my office, and we're required to have one. So I looked back through various paper copies, couldn't find one, and on electronic files, we never had one either. So it's just kind of shoring up to making sure we have a good chief water wastewater operator job description. So myself, Superintendent Steinborn, and the person who has this position, Pat Kedler, kind of worked on this and got this in front of you tonight for approval. So this is what it is. It's pretty encompassing. There's a lot of essential functions on there, but by and large, this captures the essence of what the position is and you know what the knowledge and skills and abilities you need to have, and you know, your work environment and the certificates you need for it. So. This is for you tonight for approval.
Does anybody have any questions about this for City Administrator Evans or Superintendent Steinborn? No? Anybody over here? All right.
I'll make a motion to approve the chief water wastewater operator job description.
We have a motion to approve. We have a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. All right. Thank you for that. All right, going on to letter B, approval of resolution number 2025P, a resolution certifying the proposed 2026 tax levy and general fund budget. The city staff spent a lot of time on this, so we also had a lot of time spent on this to get this to where it was, or where this is. This is the high end, correct? City Administrator Evans, if there are any things that may come up in the future that helps us relieve this, we can take it down, correct?
That's correct. When setting a preliminary levy, we can only set it in September at that percentage increase, and then we can only go down from there. When it comes to December approving the final one, we can't go up. Couple of things that we're still kind of waiting on coming in that might affect some of the rates are workers' compensation, property casualty insurance, and health insurance. So depending on where those numbers come in for what our premium options are going to be going into 2026, that could affect it. It also could maintain. But myself and staff will continue to monitor that, and if we can start chipping away and decreasing that, or if other revenues are anticipated to come in higher, we'll make those recommendations as we go in the next couple of months into December before we set that final one. But by and large, this is where the preliminary levy is at from discussions that you guys had at your workshop meeting.
Mm-hmm. So as of right now, for the 2026 proposed tax levy, the total property tax levy is at $1,788,822, which would be an increase of 8.53%. Our 2026 proposed general fund budget would be at $2,390,500. And with this, and we need to approve this tonight. Are there any questions? You were all here for the budget.
And we did update, talk about moving around some capital expenditures, and I did make that update, and I just wanted to note that on page 55, that's kind of the updated capital improvement needs going into 2026. So as anticipated, starting fund balance in there, what's planning to be levied into there, and then down at the bottom what the total expenditures are, the $238,002 for total capital expenditures in 2026. So that has been updated from your guys' recommendation from our workshop meeting, and then the subsequent sheets following this summary have been updated as well from your guidance. So I just kind of wanted to really mention that.
Okay. All right, any other questions, comments? That's not as of now. All right, and I know you, the city, you guys are going to look to get this a little fine-tuned with tune it up a little bit.
Yep, if you have any other recommendations, we'll make sure to bring them to the table for discussion.
All right.
Did we actually get a price on the tuck pointing yet, or was that, okay. I know we talked about that.
All right, so for the preliminary, we need to approve the resolution number 2025P, certifying the proposed 2026 tax levy and general fund budget.
I make a motion to approve the resolution number 2025P.
You have a motion?
Second.
And a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. And if anybody has anything on that, please bring it to City Administrator Evans as well. Okay. All right, moving on to page 64. All right, we have the set truth and taxation public hearing for December 29th, 2025 at 7 p.m. This notice of public hearing for the City of Lee Center. Notice is hereby given that the City of Lee Center will be holding a truth and taxation public hearing on Tuesday, December 9th, 2025 at 7 p.m. at City Hall, 10 West Tyrone Street, Lee Center. All Lee Center city residents are invited to attend the public hearing to provide their feedback on the proposed 2026 proposed tax levy and general fund budget. All oral and written comments shall be heard at that time or may be mailed to City of Lee Center, attention Dan Evans, 10 West Tyrone Street, Lee Center, Minnesota 56057. And this will be published in Lee Stewart in the Leesburg County News on November 20th, 2025. So if you have any comments, please come to that meeting at that date, please, or turn in any letters to the city.
And we'll just need a motion to set that truth and taxation.
Make a motion to set the date for truth and taxation on December 9th, 2025 at 7 p.m.
Second.
And we have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right. Under new business, letter D, we have approval of resolution number 2025Q, a resolution approving the establishing of the bylaws governing the Economic Development Authority, EDA. These bylaws were put together by
Jim Groundsman.
Jim,
Yep,
Yep.
our economic development specialist.
and that's the group that we hired to help the EDA with the improvements to our EDA and the city. All right, and this is one area where they wanted us to start. So this was brought to us by them. And it was fully approved by the EDA as well to bring to the city council. City Administrator Evans, do you have anything you would like to say about this?
Nope, I just wanted to mention too that when the Economic Development Authority from our best records is when they established the EDA, the bylaws were not approved at that time. State statute dictates that we have to have some sort of bylaws establishing how the EDA operates. So again, it's just kind of shoring that up and getting some bylaws on the books. The EDA did look at this at their last meeting and approved pushing it to the council. And then pending your approval of it, they'll take it back at their next meeting and they'll adopt it with their own resolution. So this is what it is here this evening for your approval with resolution 2025Q.
Are there any questions for City Administrator Evans and myself?
That's good.
And we need a motion to approve resolution number 2025Q.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2025Q.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right. Moving on to the reports of departments and organizations. Please come up, Planning and Zoning, Corey Block.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
How are you, Gordy?
Nothing new to report, other than we may have a planning and zoning meeting coming up. I was alerted today of a refinishing project on the outside of a downtown business building. So that's just a planning and zoning approval, facade approval. So if they keep going in the direction they're intending to, then we'll be hosting a meeting here shortly. The benefit of that is it's just planning and zoning approval, so no public hearings, no notices need to go out, no timeline that needs to be advertised on a timeline that needs to be adhered by. Pretty quick.
Any questions for Corey?
Thank you.
Thank you, Corey. Liquor store report, Ms. Bickler.
Good evening, everyone. Our August 2025 sales were $113,728.03. Our July gambling was $7,229.57. When I printed this, we did not have the August CNN sales, but I believe it's around $600, and we received that just the other day. You can see below our revenue sources for August of 2025. We also had some bigger things going on in OPSO. We had a wedding, Leesburg County Fair, and softball orders. We had live music. In September here, we started up with Vikings football yesterday, and we'll have that going on obviously the rest of the season. We have live music by Tyler Herwig, Friday, September 19th from 8 to 11 p.m. And then we have a comedy show by Kevin Kraft on Friday, September 26th at 7:30 p.m. Just updates on the rental property. The salon is complete. The fascia out front there is done. The apartment front door received a code lock. And in the bar, we rearranged the tables and games for dart season, and we added a few televisions for all of our sports fans. That's all I have.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you, Becky. All right, police report, Chief Overend. How are we doing?
Great, you.
I'm doing well.
August 2025, we had 258 calls for service. Brings our total ICR count up to 2,024 for the year. And our miles patrol didn't make it on here, but it was right around 1,600 miles. Other than that, Officer Huber's still working hard on the public nuisance, and anything else is status quo.
And how's everything going well up at the, granted it's not new police department, but everything's going well up there for you yet? Everything's good? You got everything the way you need it?
Working on it.
All right, okay, just making sure. Well, any questions for Chief Open?
Day shift weekends getting covered, or are you still covering?
Usually by me. We're working on that though. I've done the posting with post board. Nothing has come in. It's kind of that way everywhere. And the fear with that is you bring somebody in here, as you know, and you put 3 months of training into them, and then they go somewhere else, which is frustrating. Put a lot of money into somebody who can go somewhere else.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Pool report, Miss Dinwiddie. Oops, sorry, my bad. Skipped one. Public Works report.
He was
Superintendent.
He heard that he was walking out the door.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Just a couple little things. We finished flushing hydrants last week on Friday. That went well. And today we started cleaning sewers over by the elevator and worked at that today, and otherwise I don't have much.
How long do we go with parks? Just curious. Until we decide to close them and shut down water and all that kind of stuff.
Cold, or usually when football's done, then we just start closing everything up.
All right. I couldn't remember.
Everything winterized. We already got the pool pretty much done and winterized.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, pool report, Miss Dinwiddie. Now, how are we doing?
Good.
Good.
Have your August report in front of you. Pretty basic, we've only opened 13 days. You're not gonna be too much there. Compared to other years, we're down a little bit. I'll go over that on the next sheet, but I did want to thank the firemen, the Sportsman Club, and the Leesore County Youth Posse for all their donations this summer. We got 700 from the posse and the 300 from the Sportsman. Any questions on that? Nope, okay. Then the 2025 pool in review, I just did a quick little update there. You can see charges that we took in at the door for June, July, and August. We had 68 family passes and 312 people on those passes. You'll see the breakdown in cost there. And then we had those 17 parties. Season ticket users for June, July, and August. Lessons that we taught for Lee Center, Waterville, and Cleveland. Total pool usage was $8,399. Total money taken in was $40,562. And then I went back and calculated if we wouldn't have lowered our prices and did our deduction for our early bird, it would have been closer to 44,000. So we're down a little bit from the year before, but part of that is that deduction, $1 a person on all the fees and the $50 early bird lesson sign up. Any questions on that?
No, I think we got some good plans going for next year, right?
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind if we could find a good
year that the pool was built, like a 50th or 60th, 70th year, and maybe do a lifeguard reunion.
Oh, that'd be a great idea.
Everybody that's worked there, and
Mhm.
get it out, 3-4 months in advance and pick a weekend
I
and.
don't think the pool's big enough. No, that'd be a great idea. That'd be a great idea. I mean, there's plenty of that still live around here too, though.
Yeah, a lot of people posted on the Lee Center Happenings thing about, work there, best place ever.
Yeah.
And it was anywhere from, 20-year-olds to 80-year-olds that remember working there, so.
Mhm.
It would be fun to see how many we could get back, even maybe fair weekend.
Yeah, that'd be great for,
See
you
if
can
you
hear
can
some
still run through
stories.
some, training stuff.
Yeah, exactly, see if they can still do it.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea. Why don't you, figure out maybe a date for that?
Yeah,
and-
we're gonna figure out the year again,
Yeah.
make it an event.
I don't know what year that was 67, 5, 4? Thought it was in the
We gave out
60s.
bags one year that had our year on it, and everybody that signed up for lessons got a pool bag.
Okay.
The towels in, but
All right.
it was back when Bob McMillan was there, so that's been a while.
Well, let's do some asking and some digging and see.
What year was the liquor store open?
That's what,
49, I believe.
what was that?
I think it's 49.
Was it that one?
49?
I got that centennial book at home, I can look at it.
Okay, because the
Yeah.
pool was open like the following year or year after that.
It was a little while.
And I know my brother was already in high school, so that's been a while. Okay,
All right.
yeah, we'll talk about it next
Yeah.
year.
No,
We have
that,
a few repairs we're looking at to start off with next year, the
Mhm.
new budgets, and try to get those done before we open, and
yeah, I think
cross our fingers the pump starts.
that'll be good.
And our dog party was great, we had about 50 dogs.
All right.
And if anybody wants a signed 8x10 of Councilman Stefan with his little pug swimming, I'd be more than welcome to hand them out.
Is he in the picture?
He was.
Then I don't want it.
I was giving him lessons. Do I get to come back for the union? I was giving him lessons.
He said it was sad because he didn't have any pictures of his kids in the pool.
I didn't take any of the pictures though, so.
Otherwise, I'm done. See you next year.
Yep.
Thanks, Dorothy.
Thank you, Dorothy. Great job again. All right, we're gonna go on to the administrator's report. City Administrator Evans.
A couple of things here. One, still vetting out whether or not, kind of pros and cons of going with the private plan versus the state plan for Minnesota paid leave. Gone through various webinars and looking through the different caveats that MetLife has to offer for as far as the private plan. So continuing to hash that down. And then hopefully we'll have something that I can recommend, whether go forward with the private plan or just stick with the state adopted plan. Certainly don't want to create any more complexities, and a lot of this is yet to be out there, but I don't want to make it more burdensome on payroll staff going with the private plan versus state. So that's got to factor that in as well. Myself and GIS staff with Bolton and Mink have been identifying several easements that have been missed throughout the years that the city has got utilities. We just are in the process of securing 4 utility easements for a sewer line. And talking with Superintendent Steinborn, we've got some service work that needs to be done on a storm sewer, identified that we also do not have any easements where that is either. So we'll have Bolton and Mink do some more legal descriptions. Exciting news, I had a meeting with our GIS professional with Bolton and Mink, and we're going to create a new layer in our mapping software for our own easements. So any city utility easement that we have, staff will be able to click on that, locate that, and we'll be able to verify what easements we have out there in the community. Right now, how it's being kept is kind of more of an old school way where we've got a legal description about that thick and no map of where that is. So that doesn't do anybody any good. We're trying to get those legal descriptions on a good GIS layer for mapping. So we'll be working with Bolton and Mink and giving them I don't know, 10 or so at a time to start building this layer and building this knowledge in our GIS mapping software. So that's pretty exciting.
So with that, where would we use that? What would we use that for?
Well, one, it's just to maintain that knowledge that we have. We have public utilities in the ground. We need an easement for it. And if we don't have one, we have to secure one. If you're securing one, there's no better time than to make a map of it so that generations down, next generations of workers come in, they've got this wealth of knowledge on a database for cleaning out records, utility, easements, tree inventories, zoning, subdivision, they've got this plethora of knowledge that they can build from, and it's not just lots in somebody's head. So that's the idea behind getting data sets done and putting them on this GIS mapping system.
Awesome.
Yes, so pretty nerdy, but also I find it very exciting. So continuing to work with CenterPoint Energy on some back and forth on some franchise agreements. So we just sent a red line version over to them. So we'll probably have our first reading on that at our October regular meeting. And then currently going through strategic plan drafts with Jim Groundberg. So he just pushed out a draft to myself, and we're going to vet that. He's going to come down tomorrow. We're going to continue to vet that out and then push it to the EDA, get their thoughts on it, and then hopefully start working towards a final draft on that. But it's just in the rough draft stages. But hopefully that'll be coming down the pipe soon. So
good.
That's my updates.
Awesome. Any other questions for City Administrator Evans? No? All right. Leesburg County Commissioner updates. Commissioner Preisler.
See you all.
You as well.
For a little while, it's on vacation, and then another conference for the other one. So good to be here. I'll give you a couple updates. I know that you just did your prelim budget. Moving forward, as far as the counties is concerned, we've been working on this pretty hard for about the last month and a half, and next week, so next Tuesday, we'll have our last work session with the full board, and then the Tuesday after that, we'll adopt the prelim. And so there's, like in any budget, right, there's some good news and bad news. I mean, we got kind of a surprise in the bad news category with the renewal on our property and liability insurance, an increase of $125,000 that we weren't necessarily expecting. And so that was one that was a surprise that way. One that we knew that was coming, though, that is a pleasant piece, is that we do have a good sized bond that will make the last payment in this coming year that was levied for in 2025, so we won't have to levy for it for 2026. And that's right around $700,000 a year. So that comes off. And so we got a mix of things. Obviously, the biggest driver is the people side of things. And so salary and benefits are the biggest single driver. And then we're still working through, we got money, a chunk of it figured out as far as some of the consequences on some of the changes on both the federal and the state level. I'd say the majority of those, the impact we'll feel will be in 2027. A little bit of it that will come in the fourth quarter of 2026, but most of that is going to come in 2027. So it does give us a year to do some more planning and fine tuning on some of that. And it also gives us a year to go and try and work with our state legislature on some of that also. So we'll see how that ends up turning out. We are completed pretty much, or to be by the end of this week, with most all the road projects. Obviously, we got rain here today that are a little more than was expected. They're planning on laying tar on the last project tomorrow. We'll see if that ends up happening or not. And then this week, again, we'll see how that schedule goes, but this week, parking lot just to the west of the government center, so right by the House of Insurance there is closed. They're going to resurface that. And that's being done by county staff, so there's not an outside contractor there. And so our only real cost, so to speak, out of pocket is going to be materials. So the county highway shop folks are going to be the ones that are actually going to do that work.
if they get it done this week or not. So obviously today was a washout. And then, our comp plan also, finish up with that, and it's, still ongoing. We hope to have a draft, here in October, and then we will make sure and send you that draft. And so, Administrator Evans, if you want to share that with the council and, see if there's any comments, because we prefer we get, comments back on the draft and see if there's some things that people like or don't like, and we can kind of process that as it moves through the process. So, and then when it gets to the actual ordinances, that is going to be done in-house, and that will be done in 2026. Okay, so when Bolton and Mink delivers the actual final of the comp plan, their work will be done, and the ordinance revisions, of which I expect there's going to be some fairly substantial in some areas, since it's been quite a while, and since there's been really a comprehensive look through. There's been amendments over time that really look at all of it and fit it in with the comp plan. We'll take some amending of ordinances. So that will occur here in 2026. Anticipate we probably won't finish that until that third, fourth quarter of 2026, as far as the actual ordinances. And then I'll finish with the kind of the last thing, and that is we are working through. We did put in a kind of a temporary ordinance for cannabis, and now we're working through kind of more of a permanent ordinance. The Planning and Zoning Commission had kind of a listening session. Our board had a listening session on it. We had a work session on it earlier. And so now we'll start going through the actual hearing process and get that taken care of. And we've got 3 now growing facilities that 2 that have been permitted, 1 that's going to be pretty close here. Actually, the 3rd one is too. So nothing for retail though. The only permits have done so far are for folks that want to grow. They're called micro in the definitions, and there's a whole bunch of definitions on things. These are micro ones, so they're not large fields or large greenhouses. They're actually to fit under that micro category. They're restricted to the number of, and it's actually less than an acre if you're going to have it outside, or on the inside, I think it's like 5,000 square feet. So that's what these are so far. We'll kind of see how those end up going. Any questions that you have for me?
Nothing?
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Before we go here on our last page of our packet here, we have the fair overview that was given to us by the fair board.
Yeah, Nancy just
Nancy,
handed that off for the council.
So,
to look.
I'm just going to go through this quick. She couldn't be here tonight because she's had another meeting to attend. They served over 1,200 ears of sweet corn, which is amazing. They had 30 more tractors and 4 semis than the FFA alumni poll in June. 4-H had 25 more beef cattle than last year. Looks like more people getting into it, which is good. It was a good weather, little rain, no heat, which can be both can kill a fair if you got it. The horticulture exhibits had cash added prizes for grand and reserve exhibitors for the first time. They had many more food choices, and they were great ones that they had there, which is good. And they had good attendance overall. So it sounds like they were pretty happy with their turnout up there at the fair this year. So looked pretty good. I tried some of the food. I hope many other people did too. I didn't have any sweet corn actually. I was sort of upset about that. I didn't get up there till Friday at football practice. So, all right. Is there anybody else that has anything else under other business?
Just as far as like council reports, just to note that the ambulance is still looking for members, especially daytime members. So if anybody is interested, contact one of the ambulance crew and hopefully volunteer for it.
All right. All right, anybody else? All right. If there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second. Motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.